What's going on, y'all? I'm Brandon Atlanta Man Bang, coming to you live right here at the TP Coaches Corner, Thunderbolt, Georgia, the center of the universe. Hey, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Rubbin' and Grubbin', man. Greatly appreciated. Got a lot of news going down tonight. Had a pretty interesting race this past weekend. Man, I'm telling you what, got a lot to go over. So if you watch the show, you know what we're getting ready to do. If you haven't, first time tuning in, we're getting ready to play Word of the Day. So, yeah, you guys are going to hear that a lot. That's the horn. If you're riding by up and down on Victory Drive right now, you come past Coaches, honking the horn for the Braves, man. We gave one up last night. Coming back tonight, we're going to get these Dodgers this year, baby. I'm telling you, chop on, man. Hey, but anyways, back to the Word of the Day. So, basically the way you play is anybody, I always say age appropriate. If you're over the age of 21, favorite adult beverage. Every time I say this word during the show tonight, you're going to take a sip of it. Kids, as I say all the time, you can play along too. Kool-Aid, soda, sweet tea, doesn't matter. Get jacked up Wednesday, hump day, school night, man. Give it hell, man. Hey, so today's word, I have no idea what it's going to be. Last week's was win. So I have no idea how many times I talked about a win, but I'm sure I said it quite a few times during the show here. So there again, if you played along, sure you had a pretty good Wednesday, probably not so good Thursday morning, but at the end of the day, hey man, we're all adults, right? So today's word is going to be, have no idea. Like I said, every time I say it, take a sip. Moving right into some NASCAR news, and there again, we got a lot of stuff going over, man. But do I need to say anything else other than Kyle Young Money Larson wins again at Texas, man? I mean, we might as well get a tape recorder and press repeat, because this has been the story 8 times this season, man. Guy's absolutely killing it, dominating. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just it's going to take something special to get dethrone this guy here, Kyle Larson, man, to take that championship. Locked himself in, man. I tell you what, it's going to be a great run, man. Denny Hamlin, some big news about him, not necessarily on the racetrack per se, but definitely going down there with the Charger for this 45 with Kurt Busch next year. Pretty much thought he had one locked in, going through Furniture Row. Going to go ahead and grab that up. Made it down to the final stages of finalizing the deal, and it fell through. So here we are, restarting all over again, man. And he's got to find that. If not, it's going to be a really tough season for a brand new car. And really a fairly young team. This will only be the second year. So at the end of the day, some key components there, but knowing Denny good enough and definitely knowing Michael Jordan, he's in it to win it. They already got a win there at Talladega with Bubba Wallace, as we talked about. So expect more, definitely with a champion like Kurt Busch, man. I think that'll definitely be a pretty good race car team here in, let's say, 3 to 5 years. And there again, my thoughts on it, I always said that's going to be the retirement plan for Denny Hamlin, whether he gets behind the wheel or not. I think he will. Honestly, that's my opinion, but we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But, hey, Kyle Busch made some comments, man, about the package we raced there at Texas. And you're not going to hear me say this very often, but for once, I agree with him, man. We'll get into that a little bit later on. But, yes, I said I do agree with Kyle Busch. So, it's going to get a little crazy, man. I don't know what's going on right now. But Joe Gibbs Racing, news breaking for their Xfinity program. They run 4 cars right now. Probably one of the biggest farm teams for some of the best talent that comes up through the sport there at Joe Gibbs in the Xfinity Series. Moving that down, it looks like, from 4 to 3 next year. You got Daniel Hemmert's going to move on and take full-time ride. And Brandon Jones going to stay. Harrison Burton's moving on to the 21. And you got Ty Gibbs, pretty much, a really good race car driver, really big phenom, man, coming up to race on Granddad's stuff. And I tell you what, the kid's proven that he can go out and win. He's a winner. So look for him to be in that car full-time for a couple years. And then, like I said, it's time for somebody in the 19 or my guess would be the 11 to move on. We'll have to see how that plays out and what Gibbs is willing to do for the grandson, which will probably be move everything. So at the end of the day, man, dropping an Xfinity ride, going down to 3, save some money, and have some good equipment there at Gibbs. So hey, thank you guys for tuning in. As I always say, man, appreciate the love. Thank you guys for like, share, and follow everything out there on social media. If you haven't done it yet, you can go out and check us out on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. Man, check out our YouTube channel, Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Like I said, it's an awesome thing. Lawrence does a great job producing the show after we get done live here at Coaches. Man, he really put some time and effort into it. It's absolutely amazing. like, share, follow that for sure, man. Subscribe to that channel. Greatly appreciated. As I always say, the more people we get to subscribe and like, share, and follow, more opportunities and outreach we have for the charity events that we do here at Coaches and we do with Rubbing and Grubbing, man. So thank you guys. Greatly appreciated. Like I said, definitely go check that out, man. So hope everybody's having a great Wednesday night, man. We're going to pause for some station identification right here on Coach's Corner Sports Network. Hope you guys are enjoying the show so far. Cheers.
Cheers. Enjoying what I heard.
Yep. So moving right along into this playoff picture, man, we had some things get shaken up there at Texas. Had quite a few guys that were right there opening round to 8 race, so it really makes a big difference on how well you do on that one. More than some of the others, but definitely sets the tone, and we had some guys have some trouble. We had the 22, we had the 19, we had the 11, we had all kinds of guys having trouble, man. So it did shake it up a little bit, but as we know, Kyle Larson locks himself into that championship 4, so he remains first on that points list. 2 is Ryan Blaney, so there's a little move right there. Blaney moved up a couple spots. Denny Hamlin, the 11, moves down to 3rd. The 18 of Kyle Busch is 4th. Chase Elliott is 5th. 6th place, you got Brad Keselowski. 7th will be the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. And the 8th, rounding it out, will be Joey Logano. So the way it looks right now, with what we had going on and what we had go down at that race with Logano blowing an engine, he's 40-plus points back. It's going to take a lot of these guys ahead of him to have a lot of trouble for at least one race. I'm going to say more than that, but he would have to win some stages and finish way ahead of these guys, 20-plus positions to kind of gain those points back in one race, which is possible. It could happen, right? It's a 22 car. But at the end of the day, he's got a lot of work to do. And the 19 Martin Truex Jr. is not quite as far back as that, but there again, he is a little further back in those points as well. So we're just going to have to see, keep an eye on those two guys here as we go into Kansas this week, see what they can possibly do to bump up their point situation, maybe out of a must-win into something different, or possibly it could be a must-win for these guys. We just got to wait and see how that plays out. But hey, moving right along into my favorite part of the show, man, the checkered flag for charity. This is absolutely why I got into this. Not only did John Henderson give me an opportunity to come up and talk NASCAR here at Coaches, but at the same time, I also get to raise money for a great charity that we choose every year. This year, like I said, we chose Help Save One of Our Own. Local-based charity here in the community, man. It all stays local. They do so many great things for so many families here. They've helped on numerous things up here at Coaches. Becca Bash, Randy Palooza, a lot of help from these guys. So this year we decided, hey, man, we're going to help save one of our own, right? So as you guys know, what we're going to end up doing is throwing some money in. I didn't swear tonight, so this is our swear bucket, but we always throw the money in there. But at the end of the day, Kyle Larson won that race. Whatever number wins we donate into this bucket goes into our checkered flag for charity, man. I tell you what, we're doing big things, good things right here at Rubbing and Grubbing Coach's Corner, man. Kyle Larson wins, $5. 5 is never good enough for this squad, man. Everybody knows if it's under Christopher Bell, we're throwing in the 20 more dollars into that bucket right there. Help save one of our own, checkered flag for charity. That brings the grand total $3,679 this year, man. That is pretty good money raised. And there again, like I said, that is all thanks to you guys out there watching and all the patrons here at Coach's Corner. Greatly appreciated. Oh, man, huge donation right there. Yeah, another big donation, man, moving this right along. I'm telling you right now, if you haven't had a chance, I say it every time, when you come to Coaches, does not matter what you got to donate, donate something. Nickels, pennies, dimes, 10, 20s, 150s, does not matter. Tell your waitress or waiter, your bartender, man, I tell you all the time, if you see John Henderson in here, stop him. Say, hey, I want to donate X amount of dollars to Checkered Flag for Charity, help save one of our own, man. Round that tab up to the nearest dollar amount. Do whatever, man. Let somebody know. I'm telling you, not only do you get a feel good out of it, you're also helping a great organization, a great charity right here in Savannah that all stays local, man. So like I said, always do it. Always come by. Always donate if you get a chance, man. Get that feel good, man. So, right on into Who's Hot and Who's Not, my second favorite part of the show, man, which we cooled off a little bit on the Who's Not this week. I've been going in pretty hard on Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch just because they've been messing with my man. and they've been doing some BS, but at the end of the day, I tell you what, we're all out there racing to win. I love the competitiveness. I love the fire that I'm seeing right now in the sport. We got a lot more drama to involve. We're going to get into that a little bit later on, but right now, man, so we're going to kick it off with the Who's Hot. Need I say more again? There again, we'll start it off with Kyle Larson. 8-point paying wins this season. Sitting there, man, breaking off 9. If you count the All-Star race, that's $1 million. I mean, that sounds good to me. That could be the only win, and that sounds great to me, man. But at the end of the day, 14-plus stage wins, led over 2,000 laps in a series. First time a Hendrick driver's done that since 2007 or 8 with Jimmy Johnson. I mean, this guy's on fire, man. This is an absolutely dominating season, right? We have seen in years past, you've seen the Martin Truex Jr., the Denny Hamlin, you know, the Kevin Harvick, the three-headed monster, all these guys having 5-plus wins, being very tight in points still, right? Man, I'm telling you, Denny Hamlin is a good little ways behind Kyle Larson. Larson is absolutely dominating the sport. It does not seem to falter unless it's a mechanical issue. These guys overcame the alternator issues at the Roval to come back and get a win. I don't know what it's going to take to beat this guy other than a blown engine. Now, I will say, moving into Kansas, this was probably one of his worst races